In all my years of interviewing so-called funny people, I've often been faced with the sad truth that many of them aren't that funny in real life. Not so Ricky Gervais. But along with the laughs, this dangerously sharp comedian will also have you wincing in agony or cringing with embarrassment at some of his observations. Ricky's rule is there isn't any topic that can't be joked about. It's landed him in plenty of trouble, but as he says, he couldn't give a
Now, here's a bloke who died by falling asleep. Henry Francis Gray, who fell asleep.
Maybe he was sort of sitting on a tall pole, and then you would die of falling asleep. I like Spike Milligan's.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Told you I was ill.
Ricky Gervais believes that to appreciate life, you need to contemplate death.
A posthumous award, no good to anyone. Give me it now.
Which is why, on this cold London day, I find myself walking through a graveyard with one of the world's funniest men.
I love English graveyards.
Yeah, they're great.
Does remind us.
Well, it is. That it's finite, and all the things we care about now mean fuck all. They mean nothing.
The things that people have got furious with you about.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the fullness of time.
Oh, they love me when I'm dead.
Before he dies, he seems bent on offending as many people as possible.
You're so much better than last year's audience. No, they had a right stick up their arse. Thank you.
But the more wicked he is, the more he is loved and the richer he gets.
I grew up in poverty with nothing, right? But the point was to pay your way, then have a laugh. That was the men. The women carried on working, obviously.
On the eve of launching his new series, Ricky is welcoming me to his world.
Oh, you've done all right, mate.
Yeah, thanks to Netflix. Come in.
In the posh London suburb of Hampstead.
How many bedrooms have you got here?
28. But we've had it knocked into one so family can't stay.
In television, it's too easy these days to put a foot wrong.
Doing up my posh trainers that I put on for TV.
Unless you're Ricky Gervais, who simply doesn't care.
Comfortable shoes are important.
That's all I care about.
And me
comfort.
too.
I'm clean.
I'll wear a suit with this rubbish.
Yeah, I know. Who am I trying to impress?
I know, and sometimes they notice, but maybe
Yeah, who cares?
Gervais grew up in a working-class council house. The youngest of 4 children, he was known as the mistake in his family. He nurtured early dreams of being a scientist, philosopher, and a rock star. But somehow his sense of humour got in the way. Where did the presumption come that you could actually make a living, a terrific living, by being funny?
Well, I didn't. I sort of fell into it. I was always doing it. I was always having a laugh. Everyone does it. You know, the funniest person you know isn't a professional comedian. It's your mate or your dad or your uncle. I was always trying to be funny, and you get a job and you make people laugh at work and at weekends. I never really thought of it as a profession. I can wake up one morning and go, oh, I don't feel like working today. Can I just stay in bed? Oh, I don't know. You better ask the boss. David, can I stay in bed all day? Yes, you can, David. Both me. That's not me in bed with another bloke called David.
It's one of those great showbiz success stories. How his boring office job turned out to be a creative apprenticeship
Nurse the Polaroid.
for a celebrated television series, aptly named The Office.
Private life then, just to flesh out David Brent the man, is there a better half?
David quipped, why buy a book when you can join a library?
Suddenly, at 40 years of age, the unknown Ricky Gervais and his awkward character David Brent were world famous.
She's not dead. I remember when I won the BAFTA, right, for David Brent, the first BAFTA I won, and I was at home that night, sitting there with Jane, and, 41 years old, with a BAFTA there, and I said, why didn't I do this earlier? And she said, because you wouldn't have been any good at it. You had to live a real life.
Jane, your lifelong partner.
Exactly, and you have to live a real life to be able to write about real life. And my girlfriend of over 30 years, Jane, Although she hasn't really contributed to my career. No, I'm saying this is sort of all me. In fact, thinking about it, she has done fuck all.
I like you so much more because you're filthy rich, but you made it yourself. You didn't inherit it, and you made it between your ears by being one of the funniest men in English.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I mean, that is important.
And can I borrow 10 quid, please?
Yes, yeah. No, but that is important to me. And you know, I didn't have any money till I was 40. And I didn't much care either.
See his pop-nose face.
After The Office came more series
You are guaranteed an Oscar if you play a mentor.
with all too willing celebrity guests.
You unravelled it. Ready for action. Just hope it's big enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Gervais.
And even some not-so-low-key MCing gigs.
That is the last time I have sex with 200 middle-aged journalists. Europeans with wispy beards. The men were worse. Shush, come on.
His latest Netflix show, Afterlife,
My brother-in-law wants me to try dating again.
You need some tips.
is the darkest of dark comedies.
I'll be your date.
What role play?
It's a story of a small-town journalist working for the local rag while grappling with the death of his wife.
Hi, I'm Tony. I don't want to appear ageist, but are those your own teeth?
Improbably, it's funny, painfully so.
I play a guy who works for the Tambury Gazette, and it's all stories like, you know, woman finds hat in tree, and fat cat lost. And...
Baby that looks like Hitler.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. How long did it take you to master the double nostril recorder?
A few hours a day for a few weeks, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Blimey, did me head in.
All worth it now, though.
Did you ever try journalism? Because this is my life you're doing.
Yeah, so...
I mean, those appalling interviews, those awful things you get dragged to. All journos have been through that.
I quite like that. When I go to a new place, I always look at the local paper and see, you know, the headline, library book overdue. I love that. That's so much better than another 12 people stabbed to death. You know, if the headline on your local paper is something about, you know, stolen TV, you live in a nice place.
The best story I ever did in Britain was as a young reporter based here, was a boy who sneezed 30 times a minute. he lived with his
By himself?
Mum. No,
What?
with his mum in a council flat.
Yeah.
And the air was sodden. It was humidified because he'd been...
As you might expect, life's not easy for a sneezing man.
This
And
poor
inside-
kid, how old was he?
He was about 18 or 19.
So he just going, kill me!
He couldn't hold down a job.
Kill me!
And it was... struck me it was a Gervais moment because what happened, she said, there's only one way he can stop. If I put him in the wardrobe.
Well, let's try the cupboard.
Okay.
You right?
Yeah.
So he was in there, right, with the mum, right, and you were talking to him, and he was on camera, and he was sneezing,
That's right.
was he?
He was, yes, and then
Right.
he goes into the wardrobe, and I hear him muffle through the wardrobe, and he sneezes faintly in the wardrobe.
Sure enough, the sneezing is slowing down.
That's amazing.
It should come to a stop in a minute.
I think it's something for you. I give it as my gift. Oh, no, sorry, you're meant to do the jokes. Right, well, I can go now. I've made you laugh. End of the interview, right, that's it.
Coming up,
Literally, no one has said something that's hurt my feelings, because they live in a bin.
cracking jokes
Don't do it. It'll be fine.
in the age of outrage.
You can tell people I'm an arsehole. Good luck to you. But I'm going to carry on saying what the fuck I want.
And the biggest laugh
That's all I've got on me.
That'll do.
at Ricky's expense.
It's not very often I get paid for doing an interview, you know. Thank you very much.
He's actually taken it.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
I understand that the town of Hampstead, or the village, has more millionaires than any other town.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful place. I like it because it's like the great granddaughters and sons of, like, painters and poets and me, new money. I felt like it was the Beverly Hillbillies when I arrived. You know, people looking out of curtains going, who is this oik?
Ricky Gervais walks his neighbourhood in London's Hampstead every day, and no one bothers him.
Weird fame at first. No, I was probably...
It's on the mean streets of social media where the comedian cops his slings and arrows.
No one's ever upset me on Twitter. Literally, no one has said something that's hurt my feelings, because they live in a bin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're walking along and there's someone in the bin and they go, you'd laugh. You know? You know, it's like, no one can hurt my feelings. I'm too happy. Trouble is with Holocaust films, there's never any gag reel on the DVDs. I don't know, there isn't. Don't do it. It'll be fine.
Don't think that Gervais is careless or offhand with his outrageous comedy.
You've got a worse one. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one.
Every line is considered and lovingly crafted.
Our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Alton. Sit down. This is...
Do you ever say the thing and then say, I shouldn't have said it?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you censor yourself as you go, or...?
Of course. Of course I do.
Later.
People think I go around saying, well, I don't. Of course you censor and you think about it and it's calculated. People think I go out, you know, and host the Golden Globes and I'm just riffing and saying the worst thing I can think of. It's nonsense. I want a joke to be bulletproof. I want to be able to defend it in 10 years' time.
We live in a great age of offence, don't we? People take offence by proxy on behalf of other people who are not even offended.
Well, they do. I think there are people who are professionally offended who go around looking for it, you know. They really do seek it out. It's like they uncover things to be offended. They go back and find 10-year-old tweets. This clickbait headline that I see so often, so-and-so said a thing and people are furious. And not only are we not furious, most of us, we don't care, we wouldn't have even known about it if you hadn't have found it and printed it and told us we're furious. So it's just this vicious cycle. But no, I don't care. And likewise, I know people are allowed to be offended by things I've said. That's up to them. Kids are scroungers, aren't they? I mean, from day one, it's all me, isn't it? Feed me, clothe me, pay for my chemotherapy.
Ricky Gervais's firm belief that nothing, literally nothing, is beyond a joke has led him into controversy.
Not my problem, son.
Territory he thoroughly enjoys.
Luck of the draw, boy. Luck of the draw.
Nothing should be beyond a joke.
Well, there's no subject you shouldn't joke about, but it depends on the target. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'm an atheist. I don't run into churches and say this is a load of bollocks. It's not the forum for it. But when I'm tweeting and when I'm doing stand-up, that's my church. You've come in, this is my house, my rules. If you don't like it, you can leave. You can leave. That's your form of protest. You can leave and never watch me again. You can tell people I'm an arsehole. Good luck to you. But I'm going to carry on saying what the fuck I want.
Saying whatever he wants has certainly been lucrative, but it's also led to suggestions from pesky journalists that he's grown so rich he's forgotten where he comes from. But for Ricky, that's just more fodder.
Do you know how much a pint of milk is? It was meant to make you look out of touch, and I don't know, but that's irrelevant, right? Next time a journalist asks me that, I'm going to say, I don't know, mate, but here's £1,000. Run and get me one, will you?
How much is a pint of milk?
Damn, I still don't know. We don't have real milk in the house now. We have almond milk and...
You've missed the point.
Yeah, I'm fudging this.
You remember what you said?
I don't know. Yeah, I do. No, I do, yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Embarrassingly, I still haven't bothered fucking looking it up.
You said the next time
and next time a journalist says that how much is a pint of milk, I'm going to say, here's £1,000, run and get me one. What have I got?
What have you got?
That's all I've got on me.
That'll do.
Look.
Thank you.
It's not very often I get paid for doing an interview, you know.
It's making me feel funny. He's taken 50 quid.
Thank you very much.
He's actually taken it.
I'll buy you a beer.
Unbelievable.
It's such a remarkable story of a clever, thoughtful boy who once wanted to explore life as a man of science.
That usually works in cartoons. What's he doing, mate?
But who ended up doing something much the same in the equally serious business of making people laugh.
If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain. Do you know which philosopher said that? Dolly Parton. It always comes back to us, you know, why are we here? Well, we just happened to be here. We couldn't choose it. The chance of us being born, that sperm hitting that egg, is 400 trillion to 1. We're not special, we're just lucky. And this is a holiday. We didn't exist for 14.5 billion years. Then we got 80 or 90 years, if we're lucky, and then we'll never exist again. So we should make the most of it.
Well, I've enjoyed that. Thank you.
That was fun.
Gervais's trademark graveyard humour is fatalistic. We will all end up here, so why not at least have a laugh along the way?
Everyone should do their funeral whenever they want. Everyone gets one funeral, right? Everyone comes along, everyone does the epitaph, whenever they want, whenever they're healthy. That's what you should do. You should do it, and then you were there. And then when they die, pop.
Well, what would we say about you? Fell asleep? No.
Here lies Ricky Gervais. He had a laugh, then found a lump.
Hello, I'm Charles Woolley. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.